Welcome to this video, where we will take you on a journey through time to learn about the location of the Sumerian civilization, one of the oldest civilizations in human history. The Sumerian civilization was not just an ancient civilization, but it was the cradle of many achievements that influenced the course of history. In this video, we will review the geographical location of the Sumerian civilization and its importance, and how this location contributed to the emergence and development of this ancient civilization. The Sumerian civilization was located in the southern Mesopotamia region, which is the region known today as southern Iraq. Sumer was located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and these two rivers were the main reason for making the surrounding lands fertile and suitable for agriculture. These lands were among the best areas in the ancient world for agriculture, which contributed to the emergence of stable societies that relied on agriculture as the main source of livelihood. The most important feature of Sumer's location was its proximity to the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These two rivers provided fresh water for agriculture, and the Sumerians created advanced irrigation systems of canals and dams to control water and distribute it to agricultural lands. These systems helped agriculture flourish and turn the region into a thriving economic center. By dint of these systems, Sumer was able to produce large quantities of grain and other agricultural crops, making it a center of trade and attracting people from surrounding areas. Sumer's strategic location between the two rivers made it a crossroads for many cultures and peoples who traded goods across the rivers. Despite the presence of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the areas surrounding Sumer were mostly desert. But this did not prevent the Sumerians from being an obstacle. But on the contrary, they innovated new ways to help improve the environment through the irrigation system of water. The Sumerians were able to turn into green agricultural areas, which attracted Sumer as a fertile and prosperous place. Sumer's location was not only important for agriculture, but also strategic for trade. Sumer was located at the heart of a communication zone between East and West, linking the civilizations of Persia in the east and Anatolia and the Mediterranean in the west. This location contributed to making Sumer a center. It was an important commercial center, as trade caravans carrying various goods such as metals, wood, and agricultural products passed through it. The Sumerians were skilled in trade and created an economic system based on the exchange of goods and services with other civilizations. This trade contributed to the spread of Sumerian culture and the exchange of ideas and innovations with other peoples. Sumer was not just a geographical area, but was home to many major cities that flourished and achieved great fame in history. The most prominent of these cities are Ur, Uruk, Larsa, and Nippur. Each city had its own independence, but all shared the Sumerian language, religion, and social customs. The city of Uruk was one of the first cities to appear in Sumer, and was one of the largest cities in the world at the time. Uruk is considered an example of urban development in Sumer, as it contained large temples, palaces, and public squares that were the center of social and religious activity. One of the most important features that distinguished Sumer was the construction of ziggurats, which are huge temples, built in the shape of a stepped pyramid. These ziggurats were considered sacred places for the Sumerians, as they believed that the gods resided in these tall buildings. The most famous of these ziggurats is Ur-Ziggurat, which was dedicated to the worship of the goddess Nanna, the goddess of the moon. Ziggurats were not only places of worship, but also symbols of power and religious authority in Sumerian society. These magnificent buildings reflected the Sumerians' mastery of architecture and their ability to build massive structures using dried mud. The Sumerians were the first to invent writing, developing cuneiform around 3500 BC. This writing was initially used to record economic transactions, such as trade crops and taxes, and later developed to include literary texts and laws. Cuneiform was inscribed on clay tablets using pointed tools. The invention of writing in Sumer was a major turning point in history, as it helped document history and preserve knowledge across generations. Thanks to cuneiform, scholars today are able to understand much about the lives and history of the Sumerians. As mentioned earlier, Sumer's location on the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers provided an ideal environment for agriculture. Agriculture was the backbone of the Sumerian economy, and farmers grew grains such as wheat and barley, as well as dates and vegetables. Agriculture provided Sumer with self-sufficiency in food, but surplus crops were used for trade with other regions. This advanced agricultural system helped Sumer become one of the wealthiest civilizations in the ancient world. The Sumerians were pioneers in many scientific and artistic fields. In engineering, they created complex irrigation systems, and in mathematics, they used a system based on the number 60, which we still use today to divide time. In astronomy, they observed the stars and planets and developed accurate calendars to determine the seasons of agriculture and festivals. In art, the Sumerians left a rich legacy of reliefs and sculptures depicting scenes from everyday life and religious battles. These artworks were used to decorate temples and palaces, and they reflect Sumer's rich culture and long history. Although the Sumerian civilization flourished for a long time, it began to decline around 2000 BC due to foreign invasions. The Akkadians, Amorites, and other neighboring peoples gradually invaded and controlled the cities of Sumer. However, the influence of the Sumerian civilization remained in the civilizations that came after it, such as the Babylonian and Assyrian civilizations. The Sumerian civilization was not just an ancient civilization, but it was the cornerstone on which many civilizations that came after it were built. By dint of its unique geographical location between the Tigris and Euphrates and the importance of its trade and agriculture, Sumer became a center of cultural and scientific development. This civilization provided humanity with tremendous achievements, the effects of which are still alive. Today, we hope that this video has added some interesting information to you about the location of the Sumerian civilization and its importance in history. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all that is new.